All right. What's your name and what did you play?
Hi, I'm Andrew Sullivan. I got 40th at the NAWCQ playing pure Elfnote.
Awesome. Let's get into the list.
So the deck's 40 cards. So for the engine, we have 3 Lucina, 3 Tinia, 3 Virginia, and 1 Fortuna. That's for all the girls in the main deck. And then we play 3 copies of the Power Patron, 2 Medius, 1 Vidolium, 1 Junaldo, 1 Terminus for all the patron cards, and then we play 1 Pastelol, 1 Welcome Home, and 1 Brick that I drew, I think, 5 times game 3s. So
What made you decide on playing only 1 Terminus and also playing Pastelol?
So first things first, LOL, I'm playing the Link package. I thought the Link package gave me a unique advantage with some combos that I can perform that people may not know of, and it gave you another way to access Hyper Librarian more consistently, which was my game plan for the most part, because I was expecting people not to be on nib for this event for the most part. And if you can always go into Hyper Librarian consistently and draw cards, it's pretty good, you know, drawing into a lot of hand traps, which you'll see in my non-engine. It's majority hand traps, so having more access to hand traps is great. This also gives you really good follow-up because the Link lets you cheat out SP Little Knight, or not cheat out, but perform a Link summon at quick effect speed during either main phase. And then you can always later on banish this to summon back to a Link arrow. And then I only wanted to play 1 Terminus because I was expecting Droll main deck everywhere, and I found that this card was the worst card into Droll. Everything else, if you got Drolled on, you didn't really hate it too much. So I was really scared of Droll, and I felt if I'm going to break on a repeat, I want the repeat to be a main deck name, not a spell, because at least bodies can be replaced or sent for Regina, and that was part of my thing is I also wanted to increase, I treated this a bit like Holly Sue for last Nationals, where you needed to play as many names as possible. Though actually I only turned 0 once to Regina the entire tournament because I played so much Cool Tune, I was just scared of Ogre and Fedralis. So that's the reality of that. So
Yeah. Now onto the non-engine.
We played 3 Fua, 3 Ash, 3 Bell, 3 Fedralis. Not much to say about any of these. These are all really good. If you're playing a synchro deck, you have to play Fedralis. Even I don't care about the link confliction. It doesn't matter. Just too good. And then I played 2 Droll, 2 Veiler, an Ogre. I want to play 40, but I also wanted to play the Broken Talents and Called By. So that's kind of how it made up the ratio wise. I kind of wish I played another Veiler, but at the same time I wanted the flexibility of Ogre in the main deck because I felt Veiler was a little bad with how popular Rollad was, at least in testing. I thought Rollad was going to have a high representation, so I didn't want to play 3 Veiler because they're just going to dodge it. So that's that.
So yeah, with the main deck complete, you notice that you're not playing any of the branded cards. Could you give us a little reasoning as to why?
I felt that I had too much of a tax on the extra deck. I wanted more flexibility and be able to do what I wanted to do, and felt if you play the branded cards, you're committing around 4 to 5 cards in that, and same thing with the chess cards. I didn't like that. I didn't want to have to commit 5 cards just for a sub-engine. I felt like I would rather play utility for Fedralis, your baseline synchros that are strong, and yeah.
Now onto the extra deck.
Yeah, so here's our main synchros: Librarian, Strelezia, and June Pride. Basically, I was trying to go for all 3 of these each game, if I could. And then next to the main, these are your main 3 synchros you're also going into is Dawndrax, Crystal Wing, and Omega. These are basically your bread and butter 6 synchros. Everything else was all utility for the deck. For the most part, I think it'll be pretty explanatory. Like we have our 3 targets for Fedralis. We have Malong, Wind Pegasus, and Packbit. I never revealed this off of Fedralis initially. The whole goal of playing Packbit is that it's 2 things. 1, it was a Fedralis target, and 2, it was actually an out for KT. So the thing with the KT matchup is the +1 level on your Power Patron bird. It makes it really awkward to make a 7. So I was like, what is the best Synchro 8 that has flexibility? Well, to me it was Packbit. Packbit is 1 of Fedralis target, but 2, it's also on summon. It's not just when it hits Grave. So, and also it being 2900 means that you can run over Zaylin, which came up a few times. So against a lot of KT players, they would get surprised by this, and then I would run over with Zaylin, and then I'd go link it off, and then it contests RS that's on board. So it did a lot of pressure there. So, and then
Lovely card.
yeah, and then it actually won me. It had a 100% win rate when the card came up. So out of 5 games, it won me 3 matches. So really happy with the card.
Awesome.
Next for utility, we have Black Rose Dragon, Genora, Ravenous, and Ready Rose. Ready Rose is the only card I did not summon this entire weekend. in practice it was good, but I only played one roll ad this whole weekend, so I didn't play any striker, which I wanted to play against, and I didn't have any branded situations where this was needed. So the reason I played Crocosaur was I wanted another way just to clear out the middle zone for a synchro, and level 3+6, makes Crocosaur drawing cards is nice. Even if it was not that impactful for its actual on-field effect, the pressure to draw cards, it got Baylor imperfect a few times. So. And lastly, for the links, we got the Purification Power Patron and SP Little Knight. Nothing really here to say. This is just the package you play for it. Searching the Lull is really powerful in this deck because it lets you extend to make another Hyper Librarian, and then once you're off to Hyper Librarian, you're going to keep drawing cards. So a lot of the Librarian combos, when they went off, was drawing anywhere between 3 to 8 cards. Part of that is Ginaldo, but you're going to be cycling through so many cards, you're going to see them eventually, or at least you're going to get to Lucina to search the Ginaldo.
So was the mindset to just draw as many as you could go first and basically pseudo FTK?
Pseudo FTK through hand ripping and drawing cards. I made some Exodia boards because I literally ended my turn with 6 cards in hand, Omega Rip, Trap. I still had the Power Patron and I had Medius in the middle with Tinia, and I had Regina, Fedralis, Valor, Ogre, Ash, Bell. It's like I'm not losing that game state. Like my opponent's down so many resources, so yeah.
Now onto the side deck.
For this side, these are the go first cards. I cited Second Welcome Home, Judgment, and Anti-Spell. I didn't really want to side a lot of breakers. I wanted to side a little bit more engine. Also, I felt Welcome Home was a really good flexible card because I was semi-scared of Blitzclick a bit, so that deck in testing was really annoying to deal with. And then also just having additional pushes going first, I felt like sometimes the issue with this deck is consistency, and this is like the only other consistency card he could really add at that point. So. And then for hand traps, we have 3 Nib. I expected a lot of the mirror, so I wanted to play Nibiru, and then I also was scared of random rogue nonsense, just like overcommitting, and yeah. So I got 3 Crow. This is for Mitsu, Rolad, and Striker. Again, only played one Rolad, no Mitsu the entire weekend. But this is also good against Branded, so just hitting out the Albaz when you need to, or hitting out the graveyard effect that you need to hit out. So. And lastly, for hand traps, 2 Ogres. I just wanted to fill out the Branded matchup, and I felt it was just well-rounded. So, and last but not least, we have the anti-back row cards, 3 Evenly, and Harvey's Feather Duster. I regret siding these. Did not side them in once the entire week, or I sided this in once the entire weekend, but everything else did not side. It was kind of funny. I had these for all the Rogue and for Striker, and technically for Branded with the Feather Duster, but just never put them in. It was never needed. So, yeah, I was over prepared for some matches I never got to see, unfortunately.
So I guess in hindsight, those would be among the cards you wish you changed. Were there any other changes you wish you made?
I wish I had Perulia in here. I don't know how many exactly. Maybe I would also cut down on 1 Ogre just to have a second Ogre inside, not 2 Ogres. I found Ogre was like kind of the bad repeat to have between all of them when I did have repeats, but I would try to find more space for like 2 to 3 Perulia. So other cards, I don't know, maybe I might consider like citing a second Vidolium because I found more combos with Vidolium. It's like using Vidolium as a revive, not as a starter. So that's about it.
Oh. Well, thank you for sharing with us some of your wisdom. Any shout outs you have to make?
1 second. We got Chris, Gavin, V, and Rick for helping me solidify the combos, and definitely roasting my side deck a lot, so I got better at building it. And then we got Kevin, Will, Shimada, Andy, Brian, the Fender Squad, the Cell Block, and Dreadnought players. So,
No.
Thanks.
No. Thank you for your time. Yep.